Okay, and then I'll maybe get everyone to mute on this call, just to reduce the noise levels. Okay, so
Okay, and then I'll maybe get everyone to mute.
okay, so it looks like we are live now. Okay, so yesterday I started talking about the issues that many practitioners generally have, or anyone in the service industry, with money, and how do we deal with that, and how do you stay in integrity with yourself, with your services, with the ability to actually do what you do as not a hobby, but as a full-time endeavor. Sorry, in English. So that's what we talked about yesterday, and the recordings are available. But today, the question that I'm raising is: are you making it easy for your clients or patients to succeed? And this is really all about, follow up and follow through, and the support that patients or clients need. And especially in the healthcare sector, we tend to underestimate the support and accountability that the patient actually requires to achieve the goals that we see that they can. In other words, often the more degrees we have, the less we understand what it takes to succeed on the level of implementing um, even prescriptions. So if it's the model of quick fix, buy the drug and off you go, yes, maybe that works. But when we're doing more profound root work, it requires more of a participation from the client, and that it requires sometimes more support and accountability than is normally assessed. So many times we just write on a prescription, go pick up these things and start monitoring, I don't know, your basal temperature in the morning, or start doing this or that. And it's like, sounds good, but all it is a piece of paper. And we've basically underestimated the support that a patient or client needs to actually make a significant transformation in their lives. Because there's good habits and there's bad habits, but sometimes it's about changing the bad habits, and sometimes it's about really um, implementing a good habit in a way that you can go, okay, this morning I did a stretch, or this morning I drank, water with lemon, whatever the thing is that you might want them to start doing, but they need the support to implement those kinds of things. And um, so, yeah, and I was saying that often coaches, they know that that's an issue, and so the way they structure their programs is to have this accountability and encouragement. And I think there's a gap in for healthcare professionals, that we don't actually implement some sort of accountability so that they can really succeed. And the other thing is that feedback, again, researching patients a little bit and my own experience, and then when I extended my clinic to new practitioners, one of the commonest that's probably not an English word, one of the most common problems people had is they felt discouraged because they don't fully understand what they're supposed to do, and or what they need to look out for, or even when to return to the clinic. So what are the signs they need to look for? And as I will be teaching on Thursday, it really, the importance of having nurture campaigns, of having even small videos that let your patients or clients know what's coming, what to expect, what they're to do, all of this really needs to be put into your business. Even if you have a brick and mortar business, we still need an online component because everything is online, and with this pandemic, more of it is online. But it's not a reason to disconnect from our clients. So many practitioners are taking this opportunity to develop their nurture campaign or use their knowledge to connect with patients, to get them to do things that are beneficial for their health or their outlook in life, their wellness, all of these things. So and that's what I'll be covering more on Thursday. But I think it's really important to understand that patients can get discouraged because they don't always feel comfortable to ask questions with what they're supposed to do. So one of the things I did in my clinic is I made little videos about, when, so I do this thing called Bowen therapy. I did little videos telling them when they can exercise, what type of exercise they should be careful of, and what else they could do. What are signs that they're relapsing or that they need to come in for another treatment, etc. So I did this same for my other aspects of my practice as a naturopathic doctor, but also with homeopathy, because there's so many questions. And so what I found myself doing is that many of the things I kept repeating continually to one patient after another, I decided, okay, I'm going to make note of all those things, and I'm going to create an email series that nurtures my patients and clients by giving them this information. I'm going to repeat that word, this information. It sounded like disinformation, which is, there's so much out now these days. So I'll just be very clear. This particular information, so that they don't feel embarrassed and say, I didn't understand what you said, I don't understand what to do, et cetera, et cetera. It was like a complete step-by-step, everything they needed. And I know that was extremely well received by my patients. So I think this is an opportunity to do that kind of work and think about their experience and what you might be able to do to really have your patients feel comfortable to make the transition that they need to do. And then the other thing that I've noticed many people don't do, which is essential, and if you are doing it, good for you. It sounded like a crazy thing to say, but is patients leave without a game plan, without follow-ups, without follow-up strategy. So they pay for their treatment, and again, this is tied into the money issue as well. They're afraid to charge or to tell them to come again, or to actually tell them what they need to do in order for us to get the results, right? So one treatment may not give them all the results that we know are possible for them. So it's really important to establish a game plan, telling them, look, I think it's going to take 3 to 5 or 10, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your therapy is, give them a real strategy, a timeline, an idea, a game plan, basically. And I think many healthcare practitioners just assume that, oh, well, the patient will come back when there's a problem. And don't forget, we live in a society that it's quick fix and problem oriented, right? So people are trained en masse to just come in to fix problems once they fully manifest. There is nothing on healing, right? There's nothing out there, right? It's disease management, it's not healing. So as we are in a completely other paradigm, it's essential that we educate our patients and clients to understand that healing has steps, that there's a progression plan, that you don't give up just the moment a symptom disappears, that we have much more in line for them. We really want them to maintain their health, preserve their health, and actually get healthy. So we can never claim cure, because I guess that wasn't in the paradigm, but we can certainly increase the expectation of what is possible. And I think many practitioners who are especially in alternative or complementary health forget that they're dealing with an entire paradigm that is nothing to do with healing, right? So so it's really important to make that simple, clear, clear expectation, clear plan, and really foster that accountability to achieve something very different than what we normally achieve in standard Western allopathic medicine. Okay, so that's this part for today. And are there any questions or anything? I'm not on YouTube at the same time, so are there any questions showing up on YouTube or in this
Nothing on
group?
YouTube.
No? Okay. And anything here? All right. Okay. Well, that was my main teaching. There's a little video that you'll also have access to that covers some of these points, and I covered them differently today. So you'll have access to both. And well, I guess I don't know if I stay on because people know it's between this time and 10:30, or just come off. I'm not sure. Oh, I see a raised hand. Okay, 1 second here. Let me see how to deal with that. Just a second. Okay, you can unmute yourself and then go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Dr. Manon. This is Ramin. Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to appreciate your work and all this information, because for me it's really helpful to use your experience instead of taking me 5-10 years to figure it out. I can start it where you're just teaching me now. And
oh, great.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that how much I appreciate this work and program. Thank you.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, that is definitely my my purpose is, it's to see ahead what yeah, like for me, I didn't realize this. Oops, I'm just gonna mute because it's a little bit, there we go. Yeah, a lot of these things I didn't do at the beginning, right? And like I said, in anything I've learned in business, it's usually been by creating mistakes first and then course correcting and finding a solution. Because so many times when I've taken business training and courses and even marketing, it's for a different business. It's not health care per se, and it's not really the healing world. And so a lot of the things that I've learned are not really applicable, or at least I tried them. I'm willing always to give it a go, but I've learned that it's not really, it doesn't always work. So I've had to course correct. And so, yes, I am trying to speed the learning. And it's evolving, of course, because now we have Zoom. Before we didn't even have Zoom, and Zoom is such a great tool to connect, and another great way to do like group gatherings and group community work and group coaching and all of that, which is a real interest of mine. And as you know, that's part of what I've done, because it's so important to understand what we have available to communicate with other people and how we can support them. So anyway, so I appreciate your comment. Mary, I see that you've popped in. Did you have questions or anything the recordings will be put on a page. You'll have access to both the recording of this session and also the video that I've put on YouTube as well, that covers some of the subjects of follow-up and really bringing people on board with the vision that you have for them. And and Teresa just put the URL, bowencollege.com/mini-course, and there you'll find the recordings. And tomorrow I'll have another one. So if you have a chance, they're short, to review it, feel free to ask questions. And also, okay, great. Thanks, Mary. And just to confirm that I will be doing the event that is following will be on Thursday. So if you have that day free, please go to the website. I think you'll be receiving an email shortly. And I've also opened up some one-on-one sessions to compensate for a little bit of a shift in plans. So anyhow, I'm hoping I can serve you with what I've got, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow then. If there are no further questions, I always work better off with questions. So, yeah, I mean, if you are a therapist, maybe let us know what type of therapist you are, and whether you've implemented any nurture campaigns, or what do you do with the redundancy? I call it redundancy because our time is super valuable. And when we're repeating ourselves over and over again, we devalue our time for real, because we can't see as many people as we could. We can't serve as many people as we could. And we're not serving them to the highest level because we're just repeating ourselves. So this is why I'm encouraging anyone in the health and wellness field to seriously look at what they can offer that supports their clients along the way, and gives them, nurturing and more accountability and all of these things. So, maybe if you just look at in your practice, what is it that either that you can teach, because a lot of us have information from our own lives, and also trainings that we've done that we can put together as a support to our clients, especially at a time where many of them aren't seeing us to the same degree because of the current circumstances. And so how else can you reach out to them, keep connected, serve them, find out what they need or want? So these are all strategies of engagement, and strategy sounds almost like the wrong word. They're just, I think they're natural ways of staying connected with people that you're here to help and serve. And like I was saying at the beginning, our role as healers is really important. And I think we have to step into it in a bigger way, but a way that also acknowledges our ability to live our lives, and doesn't always put us in peril of how's the next check going to come to pay for our own existence. So I think it's really important that we look at, as we up level, we actually do it for our patients as well. And I think much of the money mindset, we think we've separated the two. We don't realize that we're all in it together, that what you learn to do that benefits them, and it may well benefit you. So there's nothing contradictory about that. And yet we have often created a schism where there really isn't one. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And Marla, I see that you've hopped in. I just want to let you know that under bowencollege.com/mini-course, There is going to be the recordings if you've missed it, and yesterday's as well. And also access to the event, which will be on Thursday. It's no longer a 3-day event, but I'm going to be compensating by spending one-on-one time with everyone who upgrades, so that I can see if I can be of service or not. And I will be sharing as much as I can on that Thursday. So Marla, did you have questions or contributions to make?
Not yet. Very interesting so far.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, what is your practice, or do you mind sharing? Or
No, I'd rather not share. Thank you.
okay, not to worry. Okay, so I'm looking for questions or something to be able to help, because it's hard to guess. And I, like I said yesterday, it's very hard to give a call, at least for me, because I'm one of these people who illegally hug my patients when we get thrilling results. I get so excited for the human potential and what the real healing possible that I can't help myself. So I find I love Zoom, the medium of Zoom, but I really love ideally to see faces. So I know sometimes we can't because the internet connections aren't good. So I understand that everyone has their reasons. But if you join me on Thursday, I would really appreciate to see people's faces so that we can have real discussions. And so I'm changing the format of this, rather than a 3-day lecture with a big tech team that makes it all exciting. I'm going to be running it very much like this, and really hoping that the materials help you move to the next level of where you need to go. I always believe in divine timing, so if it is, it is. All right, so on that note, I will sign off, and looking forward. So there will be an email coming with the slight changes that have taken place. And I think it'll also be on that page with the mini course, so that you're not lost with the changes. All right, so looking forward to see everyone on Thursday and tomorrow as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.